out a new sponsor, the Health Blaze. All the information is in the description. Use the promo code above. Goodfellow One Boxing at 18% off of all their natural products from deodorant, pomade, toothpaste, and much, much more. And they have additional discounts on their website as well. That's thehealthblaze.com. Starting December 20th. That promo code is good for 18% off. We go. All right, man. Let's talk about it. We back. Goodfellow Sports TV. Immediate fight reaction to Jermall Charlo winning a wide unanimous decision versus Brandon Adams. And I'm going to give you an honest assessment of what I think. And yeah, man, I was chopping it up on Twitter with a couple people. And I think Brandon Adams going to use it as a learning experience. It's funny that he had Freddie Roach in his corner. It's only his second fight. And he wasn't offensive enough. You don't really get that with Freddie Roach. Not offensive enough. I think he didn't see a lot of things or trust what he's seen. He seemed to could, take Jermall Charlo's power pretty well. But I'm going to tell you what Brandon Adams should have did from a technical standpoint. He should have doubled that jab. He should have really used that jab more. Okay, double it up. And, he found that place for that overhand right. And he should have been, throwing that overhand right and following it up with a left hand, or following it up with another overhand right. Or he should have been coming behind the jab, doubling up, coming through the right hook to the body, overhand right to the top. And then he should have dressed him up with that. He should have kept him guessing, maybe dropped that stick to the stomach, came over the top. I mean, he could have done a lot of things, and he needed to work up and down with his combinations more. And he just didn't really, believe and what his eyes was telling him. It was there. He seen it, and he needed to continue to double. He needed to use that jab a lot more. He needed to use combinations a lot more. Not even just shoe shining to the body. Dressing Charlo up. Charlo don't have really good defense, okay? Jermall Charlo. He don't. He gets stuck in mud with the right hand. He have his hand ready, then he drop it, and then you can hit him. Yeah, it's just so much Brandon Adams can learn from this, man, and just watch tape from this. And he gonna kick himself. Like, he could have really done a lot more, especially coming underneath Charlo's elbows and working the body, and then ripping uppercuts from the other side, and then using step arounds on his angles. At the end of the fight, he started stepping around Charlo and using angles. But there's a reason why Charlo's a champion or a title holder and Adams not. Adams only been boxing for almost 10 years. Charlo been boxing a lot longer. So that's the experience gap right there. And Jermall Charlo apparently hurt his hand in the second round, but he needs to continue to learn how to really fight tall and utilize that jab. And like Klitschko, somebody mentioned that on Facebook. Use it like Klitschko and learn how to check off that hook. Make people get past that jab. He got a really good jab. And maybe pester and kind of, pester or pop it like a piston sometimes. But really use it like Klitschko as a measuring stick and walk people right into that backhand, that straight right hand. He can beat a lot of people with that, with just that combination of the jab, the check hook, and the right hand. Just make it variant. He could beat a lot of guys with that, with how good his jab is and how good his right hand is. And, unlike Klitschko, he is very fluid at throwing combinations in close. Now, he may need to work on throwing combinations when guys coming in, but, he got the skill level. He got the punch variety, but I really think he needs to hone up on fighting taller, using that jab, learning that check hook a little bit more, and using that straight right hand. That's all he got to use, is that height. That's really what he used. And then he got the uppercut down pack. But the thing that also kills Charlo is his fluidity. He don't have a lot of upper body movement. He's not really fluid with his feet. He's really a plotter. And that's why that Klitschko style of fighting tall and using that check hook and that jab and that right hand can help him down the road. He don't necessarily have to go out there and look like Sweet Pea, look like Floyd or Roy on his toes. You know what? Utilize what God gave you. The big, strong jab, nice 73-inch long arms, sweeping left hook. But for this fight, he did what he had to do. He digged a little bit deeper. He used his experience. And, he was hurting Brandon Adams in there. Brandon Adams had a little swell under his left eye. and he was able to back him up, and he was able to put some combinations together, hit him with some chopping right hands, hit him with some left hooks. I mean, Charlo got a really good punch variety, but like I said, Adams made it difficult on him, man. Adams' movement bothered him and his rhythm, because Jermall Charlo don't have great movement. He not gonna get on his toes and like his brother did with Ronnie Shields and roll shots and bounce on this roll. That foot mobility is going to bother him a lot of the time, until he really figure out how to fight tall and use that jab and that check hook and that right hand. Once he use that, he learned to use that jab and that check hook and that right hand to control the narrative of the fight and control the floor of the fight. A lot of guys gonna want to come in, even taller guys. Once you get that pumping, man, it's gonna be a problem, because that jab and that check hook open up everything. Don't let you add a hook to the body, hook to the head. That right hand gonna be there all night. But quite frankly, man, he ain't ready for Canelo, and I said that before. He's just not ready. He would probably make it the distance with Canelo, because Canelo ain't a big puncher and he's just so physically big. But stamina-wise, it seemed like he worked hard. He just need to work on fighting taller. Tommy Hearns type of jab, but he ain't ready for Canelo. I'm watching Demetrius Andrade right now. He looking pretty good, but his legs still don't look as stable. They still look a little bit like spaghetti. But he may cause some problems. Him and Demetrius Andrade and Jermall Charlo be a hell of a fight. But I just don't understand why Canelo just refused to fight Charlo. Is it the hand speed that he worried about, or is it just the jaw and the tenacity and just the overall, just ferociousness of him? But Brandon Adams' mobility did well today. Now Canelo can do some of the things Brandon Adams did with his mobility. Canelo can make you move, can make you miss. He may not be as mobile with his feet as Brandon Adams was today. And Adams got a future, man. If he want to stay at 160, man, I think he can capture a world title one day. If he go down to 154, I definitely think he can capture a world title. Eventually, man. He is a real problem out there, man. And he just needs a little bit more seasoning. This was his first 12-rounder fight. He just need a little bit more seasoning and how to mount offense and how to use that double jab and how to step over, use angles, and use those right and left hooks, man. He's a really good fighter, but like I said today, Charlo dominated, but he didn't get the knockout. And sometimes it happens. Sometimes you come across guys, especially journeymen, that just very, very durable and got great jaws. But for him, one thing I also noticed about Jermall Charlo is he fight tight. He fight wound up. He need to loosen up. Everything is tight from up top, from the shoulders on up, right in that torso. He fighting tight, and it's just not fluid. It's kind of like he don't really see what, he can't see what he need to see. Like it was overhand right, I believe, Adams threw. He blocked it. He had his hand up to block it, and then he moved his hand away. It's like he don't really trust what he's seeing in the ring. He needs to trust what he's seeing in the ring. And but like I said, there's a lot of flaws there. Can any guys in this division do what Brandon Adams can do? Well, yeah, Demetrius Andrade, foot mobility is looking good right now. You know what? I think I made my determining factor. Who can win that fight? Let something else happen. But like I said before, Jermall Charlo is hard, power, athlete, but he just don't really have the foot mobility or the upper body fluidity to really, be that guy. But hey, that's not a bad thing. If he can utilize that long jab and use the check left hook and walk people into that right hand and maybe get that left hook to the body going, he'd be all right. You don't have to be slick to be a successful fighter or be fluid. You can be a little stiff, and he got some speed to go with it. But yeah, it was a good fight. I enjoyed it. I had the Andrade fight on as well. But let me know what you guys think, man. People gonna say they overrated, or he overrated. But I never really thought he was the better one. I told you Jermall was the better one, but under Derek James, he changed his style, so you really can't tell. But hey, Goodfellas Sports TV. Don't forget we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out to the email. You have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request. Keep sharing the videos. Appreciate the love and support, man. And shout out to everybody that was in Houston, man. They did their little thing. Shout out to them, man. Shout out to Fred for getting the brothers together, man. Real shit. Don't forget to check out our sponsor, The Hellblaze, thehellblaze.com. Promo code Goodfellow Unboxing.